Hey everybody, just want to kind of give you a background on some of the stuff that I'm using, drum-wise, cymbals, heads, so on and so forth. I've been using this setup for at least 17, 20 years or so. The drums are DW, been with them for a long time. Actually, been using their hardware probably 4 decades or so, just going back years and years and years with the pedals and the stands and stuff. But the drums, as you see, there's 4 drums here. These are the only 4 drums that I actually own. It's a 6x14 VLT snare, 10-inch rack, 14-inch floor, and there's a 16x20 kick. Now, as much as they have a custom finish to them, they are also custom in the respect of they're designed with the grain going various ways. DW has different processes that they use where your toms, obviously you're looking for low end, so the grain's going to go a certain way. Your snare's more about the bite and the crack, so the grain's going to go a different way. So this is a completely custom kit, and it always sounds unbelievable. Always using Remo heads, been with Remo for years and years and years. I just found the consistency and the sound is just the best for me. I mean, everybody's got their own opinions, but for me, it's the best. Single ply, coated ambassador all the way around. The underside is clear ambassador. As you can, well, you can't see, but there's no tape except for the snare. There's a little tape to bring the ring down. I'm just a big fan of hearing the tone of the drum. There's no point in having the world's finest drums with the greatest tone if I'm going to stick a blanket across the top or 400 pounds of duct tape or some head that's 22 ply head where it's a big thud. Yes, it takes some time and experience to learn how to really tune them and get them where you want to, but when you do, it becomes automatic and they're just unbelievable. The kick drum, believe it or not, has nothing in it except a small piece of felt about this big that's hanging from the back. Again, just want to keep that open sound and deal with it as a kit, not just like, here's my snare, here's my tom, nothing can ring, here's my other tom, nothing can ring. The other thing people, ask or talk about is that it's only 2 toms, but technically the way I look at the kit, it's actually 3 because I'm using the 20-inch kick as a tom, whether it's in fills or different grooves, but I technically have 3 tom technical sounds that I can use. When it comes to the cymbals, it's always been Zelgen. It's just something I grew up with. I remember 7 years old. My first drum lessons, they were out in the rack in the little music store and everything. Again, like with the drum heads, I'm going for the thinner sound. These are all just thin A's or medium thins, not going for the heavy, nasty sound. Just beautiful. You put them up and they sound amazing. The one thing that you will notice here, and this is done for a recording setup and also the fact that you don't have to drag a bunch of stuff around, I've got 2 crashes, one with my left hand and one with my right hand, 2 chinas, the same, one on each side so I don't have to cross anything over. I've got 2 hi-hats and a ride. I've never found it necessary, especially after I was growing up, to have 22 different cymbals. And is there really a difference between a 19-inch crash and an 18-inch crash in a live situation? I don't really think so, but to each his own. This is what I do. It records amazingly clean. I'm always thinking when I'm recording, how is this going to come out of the speakers? Am I going to have just like a bunch of ride smashes over here, or is it one here and the stereo field, is perfect and it just sits right. So it's always about your sound. The other thing that's really important are these. These are called metrophones. Whenever I practice, whenever I play, whenever I record, I always use these for a combination of 2 reasons. There's great fidelity. There's a built-in click that I can set when I just want to practice, so I don't have to go to the computer and set up a click, as well as protecting my ears. I'm happy to say at my age, I have average hearing for my age, so you got to use these. Now, when it comes to the pads and the electronics that you see, I've been using the Yamaha DTX12 for years and years and years. The thing that's great about that is there's a lot of reasons, a lot of things that are great, but the things that I really like in them, number one, in a live situation, I can get my click out of there. So program song to song, just hit the button, go to the next song, boom, you're there, the click's coming up, you're ready to go. The other thing is that it takes samples. So I'm not a big sample guy when it comes to recording and triggering samples, but I love my crashes, my bangs, my booms, sound effects, inverted chinas that are gated, different creative sound effects that I can use that I can put into this pad, and live I can play them. You'll hear it all over the new A through Z record, as well as you heard it on the first A through Z record. And I've always kind of got into that. To me, it's more just about the creative aspect and what I can bring to my sound. So that's about it. You see the setup? It's kind of simple, not a lot to drag around. And I appreciate you guys coming by.